Hello everyone and welcome back to the F1 Ultimate Career. It's time for the British Grand Prix, my home Grand Prix, and here at Silverstone should be a cracker. It always is here, great for overtaking, great speed, what a fantastic track it is, steeped in history as well, and hopefully we can have a historic race today, and no other car to showcase than this beautiful McLaren from 2012. But anyway, last time out in Valencia, the last time we visited that track, it wasn't too bad. Actually, wasn't too bad. We came 6th place, beat a Red Bull for pace, and yeah, really happy with it. That's a definite confidence booster heading into the European sector of the calendar. So yeah, really happy with that. Both Saubers actually scored good points, Massa finishing in 8th, but it was Alonso who prevailed, actually in extending his lead at the top of the championship. But Kimi Raikkonen actually won his 2nd race of the season last time out. So like I've been saying, could there be a dark horse this season? Could it be the cult classic, cult hero Kimi Raikkonen? That would be fantastic, wouldn't it? But because we're at the main menu, that must mean a roster change. Let's go see what's happened. And here it is. This time it's Daniel Ricciardo who's been dropped from his Toro Rosso seat temporarily, and Jean-Eric Vergne, the newbie, the French driver, he's going in for his debut here in Silverstone. He lines up alongside Jaime Alguersuari, who has been quite unlucky this season. He should have got really good points in Canada, wasn't it, when he crashed out? So yeah, let's see what the French driver can do. He's going to be replacing Daniel Ricciardo for the time being. Alright, here we go. Silverstone time. Look at that paddock. Isn't she lovely? Very patriotic when it comes to Silverstone. So hopefully she returns the favour. Alright, we'll see you guys for qualifying for the British Grand Prix.
Someone's crashed in Sector 1. Yellow flag conditions. No overtaking in Sector 1.
That's not going to affect our lap, but our first banker lap is actually quite slow. We're slowest in the midfield at the moment. 9 thousandths off of Karun Chandhok, as someone's actually retired from qualifying, and I can tell you that it's Nick Heidfeld. So he clearly crashed maybe on his fast lap, maybe his first fast lap of the session, and he is out. So yeah, another midfield driver biting the dust early on. There's a Ferrari without their front wing. I think Kubica's actually pulling off to the side. So is that another retirement, or he's still going for now at least? But oh dear, not quite sure what's happening around here. But we're still in 7th. Got the likes of Kimi Raikkonen behind us at the moment, and Kobayashi setting the pace early on. But we need to carry on with our 2nd lap here and try to find some sort of improvement.
Great job. We're through to qualifying 2.
Alright, 16th place. We didn't have to go back out in the end, as actually Kubica did not make it back to the pits, and he's actually got a 10th place grid penalty, so he'll be starting from the back with Nick Heidfeld. So with two kind of, well, obviously these guys are towards the front of the grid, but with 2 midfield runners retiring, then I was probably guaranteed to go through. So I just thought, you know, probably don't need to go out again. So yeah, those 2 are out. They've joined by the 2 HRTs, the 2 Marussias, and Oliver Turvey. But Romain Grosjean has managed to take some advantage from Kubica and Heidfeld not making it through, and he is through to Q2. But it's going to be a struggle for him to get anywhere further than P17, to be honest. But we definitely have some work to do. 8 tenths off Jean-Eric Vergne on his first start in the sport. So yeah, definitely some work to do, and especially with Massa being up there. The car performance is there, we just need to extract it. So let's try in Q2. Right, we're out for Q2 nice and early. We've only got fuel enough for 1 flying lap, because we saw, well, I saw in Q1. I went to do the 2nd fast lap, and it was nowhere near my first lap, and my first lap clearly wasn't very good. So yeah, the tyres not quite holding on as much as we'd like them to, so I've only fueled for 1 flying lap. So this is it. I mean, I've got 3 tyre. I've got 3 sets of options if I need them, but yeah, I'm not too confident heading into Q2, not gonna lie. Oh, what are you doing, Massa? Why are you sitting on the apex at Cops? That is really bad. I'm on my first flying lap here, and let's see if that's ruined it or not. It's probably taking me out of my flow state, to be honest. God's sake, Felipe.
You're nearly out of fuel, almost out of fuel. You need to pit within the next 2 laps.
Nah, nowhere near. Nearly 2 seconds off Webber. I don't know. We'll go back to the garage and see if the middle sector is where we lost all that time. But yeah, Felipe clearly not helping us there. But I don't think we're with them. I don't think we're at the races today, to be honest. I don't know what it is. Maybe my setup's not quite right. I'm not quite sure. I mean, Silverstone, it's not my strongest circuit. I obviously love it because, you know, it's my home Grand Prix. But yeah, never really been my strongest circuit. But we'll come in and we'll try again because that's all we can do. Yeah, look at our middle sector compared to Jean-Eric Verne, who sits in P10 at the moment. We lost, what, 9/10 to him through that middle sector, so we were definitely impeded by Felipe. So probably going to be having a couple of words with him after the session, but hopefully we can improve. So we're going to put a fresh lick of paint on, fresh lick of option tyres. I don't know what I'm on about. Let's give it another go. Let's try and get into this top 10. Oh, 13 thousandths ahead of Jenson Button, who's actually down in P10 at the moment. So can we get these last couple corners right? We're definitely going to find an improvement, as I think Button's actually found his own improvement, as now DeResta sits in P10. We're definitely going to get an improvement here. Can we get this right? Our second fast lap here in Q2. What's it going to be?
12th place. That puts you in 12th.
Yeah, it's kind of faltering in that last sector. Not quite sure what happened, probably just because I started talking, but we find ourselves between the Toro Rossos now, so we need to get back in to the pits and go again. We have another set of options that we can use, so we've got to give it our all, don't we? So 3 more tenths to find, and then we can get ourselves into this top 10. But we got, I think, Massa, Vettel as well down here in the bottom 7, so
temperatures are looking really good.
it's going to be competitive. You know what? I don't think I'm gonna have time. We've got 2 minutes 20 seconds to get in, get reeled back into the pits, put a new set of options on, refuel. Yeah, I'm not confident here. We're gonna try. Come on, team, get me in. Nah, I think this is it. With our efforts are gonna be futile here. One of the slowest pit lanes on the whole calendar, and yeah, we're definitely not going to get round in time, so it's going to be a maximum of P12 here today. A little bit disappointing, but you know, P12 is still pretty good. We should have quite an open strategy for tomorrow, so looks like we're going to be nestled between the 2 Toro Rossos.
1 minute to go.
And we've been out-qualified by Jean-Eric Verne on his debut, so fair play to him. See if anyone can improve though, and see if we can hold on to this P12.
Not our day today, much lower than we hoped for. That's 12th on the grid for tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, 12th isn't great. I was going to come up with some sort of excuse, but yeah, couldn't really think of any. P12, I mean, at least we're ahead of our teammate who clearly struggled throughout that session, and definitely going to be having some words with him after this session. So yeah, P12 and P14, not great for the team, but it is what it is. We normally move forward in these races, so all hope is not lost just yet. But Sebastian Vettel, at least we're not as bad as him. 16th place for the German for tomorrow's Grand Prix. That is a real shocker for him once again. And we're joined by Grosjean, who, like I said, probably going to get 17th in this session. Kobayashi down in 15th. And then the 2 Toro Rossos, Verne ahead of Alguersuari on his first time of asking. So fair play. Both Williams into the top 10. Paul DeResta, well done to you. And Chandok, again, out-qualifying his Japanese teammate. So, yeah, no words for that. Lewis Hamilton, though, is leading the way at his home Grand Prix, just ahead of his fierce championship rival, Fernando Alonso. So let's see what happens in Q3. We'll have to find out once we go to the paddock tomorrow. But I'll see you guys there. Alright guys, here we go. The 2012 British Grand Prix is about to get underway. 26 laps here around the Silverstone circuit. We line up bang in the middle of the pack. P12, just ahead of our teammate Massa. And yeah, let's see what we can do today. Quick look at the strategy before we look at the grid. One stopper here today at Silverstone. I'm quite surprised actually, because the tyre wear is quite high here. So starting on the options that we didn't get to use at the end of Q2, and then going on to primes about lap 9, lap 10. We'll see what happens during the race. But let's have a look at the grid, because we didn't make it to Q3, and it's Jenson Button on pole position. Well done to him. He's just ahead of Mark Webber in P2. So the two championship rivals lining up on row 2. So Hamilton just ahead of Alonso, which is obviously what he needs to try and claw back that gap up to the Spaniard. But look at that, Pastor Maldonado up in P5 in his Williams, emulating what he did in the 2012 season for real. And Karun Chandok in P6, an inspired decision by Force India, clearly. Wow, fair play to him. And then it's a Lotus Renault row 4, Kimi ahead of Vitali, and then Rosberg ahead of De Resta in P10. Alright, so let's see what we can get done today from P12. Bit of a mixed up grid behind us. We got some fast guys behind us, namely my teammate Vettel, Kubica and Heidfeld. But let's see what we can do. We're normally better in the race this season, so yeah, let's just try and get some points, I guess, and try and keep it clean. Alright, enough said, let's get racing. Alright, well, sorry, I was fiddling with my mic, so you won't be able to see that cinematic. Alright, who cares? Anyway, British Grand Prix of 2012 is underway. We're starting P12 here. And again, the second phase where we bogged down. Vern's got a decent start on his debut. There's someone on their inside there. It's actually my teammate, so I need to keep very clear of him. I gave him a lot of stern words after yesterday's qualifying session where he impeded me in cops. But let's forget about that and get on with this race. This Maldonado, I think, has got himself up into...
That was a big impact. Let me know you're okay.
Oh my god. I had no time to react to that. Oh my days. Alright, here we go. It's the race proper now. I don't know what that was that you just saw. Anyway, lights are out and away we go for the 2012 British Grand Prix. Let's see if we can get a good start here. Barreling down towards Village Corner. Got the inside of Vern there on his first start. Getting bogged down, clearly getting used to the start sequence. We've got to find our way into Aintree in the loop here. We've got Rosberg on our inside, so we steer clear of him this time as Alonso and Vern diving up my inside. Nothing doing that time, but Petrov going really slowly ahead of us, trying to find some sort of path to excellence here, and nothing really doing. But we've got a run on Petrov towards Brooklands. Is he going to let us through, perhaps? Okay, we got the inside, and we're through. Alonso down in PA, a really poor start from the Spaniard. I'm sure Hamilton won't be too upset with him being down there, but we carry on. P10, it's a good start from us, but we got no curves to defend with now. Here we go, here comes Petrov. I'm sure he's probably held on to some curves for the hanger straight here. Could he go round the outside of us at Stowe? Not quite, not quite. It's looking pretty ominous at the moment, not just the weather, but our lack of pace here at the start. I did use all my curves at the start, but now we have curves back. We'll see where our pace truly lies. So yeah, one lap in the books, made up a couple of positions here into the top 10. This is exactly what we need at this time.
DRS will be zone.
Alright, DRS enabled, and now we have Kurz. We're actually having a good pace, to be fair. I think Maldonado is starting to form some sort of DRS train behind him as he runs in 4th place, which is incredible for him, so fair play. As we've actually got DRS on Rosberg here. He closed it through the kink. I think that's Aintree, pretty sure, and we're going to take that place. Thank you very much. Nico Rosberg kind of sleeping into that corner, so we'll take advantage of that and up into 9th place. It's looking good actually so far. I've got way more pace than I thought I would, so yeah, it's been a really good start for us, and if we can stay in this group ahead of us, we could have a path to 4th place here. So yeah, really happy with our start at the moment, and bridging a gap back to those guys outside the points now, so looking pretty positive at the moment.
We've had a look and we think Alonso's due to pit within the next couple of laps.
And Alonso's due to lose another place. We're up into P8 now as he tried to have a look at Di Resta into the first corner. I don't think I've ever seen anyone make a move there, so yeah, didn't quite work for Alonso, but I've actually lost out on DRS now, so he could have a run on us onto the Wellington straight. But we're up into P8, making really good progress, and we've still got sight of these guys ahead. So yeah, really happy with the progress in our race so far. Got another run on Di Resta here, and actually, even though he's got DRS, we're going to gain another place. It's a little bit of an exploit as the AI seem to close their DRS after that little kink onto the Wellington straight, whereas I can just keep it open. So yeah, a little bit of an exploit that I'm taking advantage of. Sorry. So, you know, you got to take these things, you got to take these opportunities with both hands. So we are making steady progress through this group, but once we get past Maldonado P4, our progress will probably plateau from there. So yeah, I'm taking full advantage of this at the moment until Maldonado probably releases one of these guys, and then they'll be all over me. So let's keep going. That's a lapse in concentration, isn't it?
Stay out unless it's causing you problems.
Oh, I've just hit the bloody brake marker and it's broken my front wing, for God's sake. Right.
Okay, it looks like the car ahead is trying to create a gap. He's running full revs, maximum power.
Well, yeah, we're still in P7. Our progress through the pack has kind of stunted as we've got a little bit more spread out now. So yeah, P7 is where we are now, and obviously we're running with a bit of damage, so Di Resta is going to be back onto our case pretty quickly. So yeah, we're going to come in next lap for a new set of tyres. Our tyres don't feel very good at the moment. It's actually Di Resta's having a look here. I can't even defend because I've got no curves left, but he doesn't fancy it around the outside. So I think this next lap's going to be a bit of a struggle, but then we can come in, get some new tyres, and now need a new front wing. Okay, Andy, yep, coming in this lap. I really hope I'm the only driver to come in on this lap, as I don't really want to get held up in the pits by anyone. As Maldonado up ahead is coming in, and Alonso as well. We're going to barrel into the pits there, a little bit unrealistic, but oh dear, we actually have quite a few people coming to the pits here. So yeah, hopefully we get a good pit stop and the guys can get the wing changed in an ample amount of time. So come on, let's get in there. Hopefully we don't get held up by the Toro Rosso behind. Yep, sorry about the front wing, that's my bad. Can we get out ahead of any of these guys? I think we've been jumped by Alonso there. So that's a good move for him, to be fair. It's going to be hard to keep up with him. But now we've got Kobayashi behind us. I didn't see actually which Toro Rosso that was. And Heifeld's back there as well. So we can carry on with our race. Down in P15. P15 for us, no more stops hopefully, and we can just get on with our race. Right, so the rest of the cohort of the midfield has made their pit stops, and they're all ahead of us, which is fantastic. As you can see, Felipe Massa's now ahead of me, and behind Alonso is now in 12th place, and we're now 14th. which is insane. How have they managed to pull off the overcut on us? I have no idea, because their tyre wear must have been awful on that last lap. But here we are, we're down in P14, we're battling our teammate for 13th, so it's not great at the moment. These guys have got cold tyres though, so might be able to make some sort of move on them shortly, but yeah, it's not great. We were in P7 before the pit stops, and now we're down in 14th, but I think we're going to be making a move on Massa here, and I think Alonso is going to be getting past his compatriot Alguersuari to get into 11th, so I guess that's one place made up, but it's not looking good. P13, really bad. I know I said no one makes an overtake here, but I think we're about to do that. Alguersuari's still wanting to stay in there, but that's P12 for us. Thank you very much. So next up, Fernando Alonso, but I think we're going to just try and use him to try and get up to the top 10 here, because yeah, I don't think we've got the pace ourselves. We've got it into rich mix now. We're going to burn off some of this excess fuel and try and catch up to those top 10 drivers. Really, really annoying. Right, lap 17, and absolutely nothing has happened. To be honest, I'm losing time to Alonso, and only just keeping these guys behind me. It's been a really boring second stint of this race so far, as we're still in P12. Can't catch up to those two ahead of us, Teresta and Alonso, fighting for that final point on the grid. So yeah, if Teresta can keep ahead of Alonso, that'd be really good for him, and if we can keep ahead of Alguersuari, that'd be good as well. But it's not really going our way at the moment. Again, I'm just kind of baffled as to what happened over the pit stops. I know I had to change my front wing, but I didn't really lose that much time, surely. So yeah, clearly having to change my front wing is where we lost our way today, which again, another mistake from me, so that's great. Yeah. Oh my god, finally getting some action here as we lap Jerome D'Ambrosio. I'm not quite sure what's happened to him throughout this race, unless they're just very slow today. But yeah, lap 21 now, probably going to be our last checkpoint of the race, unless something happens, which if it does happen, then it's probably us getting overtaken. So hopefully we don't check it again before the final lap. But yeah, the gap to Alonso ever increasing. Obviously after passing Jerome D'Ambrosio, this group behind us has kind of spread out, but we've managed to keep Alguersuari behind us for now. And yeah, it's been pretty easy, to be fair, to keep him behind. So yeah, sadly Massa can't overtake the Spaniard. If he could, I'd probably let him through, but he hasn't been able to overtake, so he has been stuck back there as well, sadly, as I don't really want to just let Alguersuari through, then to just let Massa through, because I would like to hold on to this P12, because yeah, anyway, looks like we're going to finish where we started in this race, as we start lap 22. Yes, over 6 seconds to Alonso up ahead, and Hamilton leading the way, my fellow Brit. It'd be nice if he could win his home race. Oh dear, that's a mistake. That is a mistake. Alguersuari is going to be on our case now. Can we stay ahead of him? Here comes Massa. Please pass him, Massa. Please. No. Okay, brilliant. Yeah. Whatever. Oh, Alguersuari's off. Oh my days. Alguersuari is finally... he's finally made a mistake behind us, and he's actually lost out to all of those guys behind. So Massa, Heidfeld, I think Kobayashi's back there, and Vern obviously. So not quite sure what happened to Alguersuari, but I think it's a bit too late for me now to let Massa through, like for no reason. So it's probably going to be a race between us for the last lap and a half, but we got all of this lapped traffic up ahead of us that we can't really catch at the minute. It's a little bit embarrassing, but yeah, these four ahead of us are really going to cause some hassle for the guys behind. We'll see if anything any drama happens.
Looks like there's a problem with Kurz. The guys are working on a fix.
And brilliant. Just to rub salt into the wound, we've lost Kurz for a second race in a row, and here comes Massa. He doesn't even have DRS, and he's catching me up this much. Jesus Christ.
You're about to lap the next car. He should let you past.
Yeah, I think this is Luca Felipe up ahead. He hasn't let us through yet, but just looking back on this race, we've had absolutely no pace on these prime tyres. It's been absolutely shocking for us, which has been very, very annoying. And even after running up in P7 earlier on this race, it's kind of come to, it's just amounted to nothing. So yeah, not quite sure. Maybe a little bit of a mix of my pace, but also the car not really working this weekend. But we'll have to go away, do our research. But Lewis Hamilton, though, no struggles for him, and he has won the British Grand Prix. Very happy for my fellow Brit. And Alonso looks like he's going to finish outside of the points. So this is going to be a massive swing towards Hamilton in the championship, but we need to keep Felipe behind us. Yeah, we kind of mucked up our own weekends here. It's going to be P12 here and a pretty boring British Grand Prix.
Well done on 12th place, just outside the points.
Yeah, I mean, cheers, Andy, but I'm not exactly best pleased with my performance, but hey-ho, can't win them all. But yeah, P12, it is what it is. Anyway, let's have a look at what happened up here. Lewis Hamilton leads a McLaren 1-2. Very good for the British, quote-unquote, Australian team. Well done to them. Hamilton leading the way ahead of his teammate who lined up on pole today. Mark Webber can get on the podium though, so well done to him. Kimi Raikkonen just outside the top three, he's in P4, and Vettel from 16th to 5th, great recovery from him. And then Karun Chandhok in 6th place, an incredible result for him on his return to the paddock. Like I said, inspired by Force India, fair play. Pastor Maldonado in P7, and it's Vitaly Petrov P8, Nico Rosberg 9th, and Paul di Resta in 10th place. So another point onto his tally. So he fully deserves that for keeping Fernando Alonso behind, and I'm sure Lewis will be very happy with his compatriot there. Then, like I said, it's the two Saubers, myself just ahead of Felipe. Yeah, kind of got on each other's way this weekend. So yeah, things to work on there. Kamui Kobayashi down in 14th, Heidfeld, a weekend to forget for him, down in 15th. Then Jean-Eric Verne on his debut, pretty poor in the end, but can't fault him, it was his debut in 16th. Alguersuari, after making that mistake right at the end, finishes in 17th. Then it's Robert Kubica, again another weekend to forget for him. I think he had another little scuffle in this race, and that's why he's finished so far back in 18th. But he's ahead of all the back markers here who got lapped today. Grosjean, Turvey, Bird, Close, Felipe and D'Ambrosio right at the back. So yeah, not the best today, but there's a big change in the championship standings. Let's go take a look. Alright guys, here are the standings after today's British Grand Prix. It's Lewis Hamilton again in the lead of the championship after his win, and Alonso's 11th place, obviously scoring no points today. So Hamilton takes a foothold of the championship once again, and we got Kimi Raikkonen in 3rd place still, only 16 points behind Alonso now, and Button in 4th, and Webber 5th place. Then after those three, we've got the three Germans of the grid. Heidfeld just ahead of Vettel on the count back, and then Rosberg a little bit further behind. Then Petrov has regained 9th off of Kubica in the top 10. Then in 12th place, you will find us 6 points adrift from Maldonado after his P7 today, and 1 point ahead of my teammate Felipe Massa. Karun Chandhok, after double scoring finishes in his first 2 races back on the grid, he finds himself in 15th now, gaining 4 places, and Jean-Eric Verne is on the board. He's 26th ahead of Ma Qinghua. No changes in the Constructors' Championship, but an incredible weekend for McLaren. full points for them apart from the fastest lap, and none for Ferrari. So a huge gap has opened now in the constructors. So it's going to take a lot of recuperation from the guys behind to bridge that gap now. Those looking to bridge the gap are Ferrari, just ahead of Renault now, who are only 13 behind Ferrari, which is crazy. And then Red Bull 8 adrift from Renault, and Mercedes kind of lagging behind a little bit. Then it's us in 6th place on 51 points, another non-scoring finish for us. Only 14 points now ahead of Williams, and that is really poor. We need to be a lot closer to Mercedes rather than closer to Williams. And Toro Rosso, though, it could be worse. We could be behind Caterham. Driver of the day today has to go to Karun Chandhok. I could have given it to Vettel for his recovery from 16th to 5th, but you know, that's kind of expected from him. I could have given it to Hamilton as well for winning, not from pole, but I don't think Chandhok deserves it. 6th place in a Force India in his 2nd race of the season. Yeah, that is a bit of an achievement. So fair play to him. A little bit poor from us. I don't know. I don't know if it was poor driving. I think the car just wasn't really in the window this weekend. Massa clearly struggling as well. So at least I beat my teammate. I'll take that positive away, and we can try and get better for next time out in Germany, back at the Hockenheim track. So really looking forward to that, and I'll see you guys there. Take care.